What's up, YouTube? NFL Sunday, Week 9. A couple teams starting to separate themselves already. Um, got some interesting games today. Got a game in London, 9:30. Uh, Calvin Johnson's not going to play again for a third week. I don't like that. I don't like the Detroit Lions' chances. I don't like their team right now. Their team is unstable right now. They got a good defense. Their defense has been holding up, but their offense has been suspect. And without Calvin Johnson, I don't think they're going to put up enough points. So I think first matchup, Falcons, Lions. Falcons is technically at home. It's on neutral ground. I'm going with the Falcons. Going with the Falcons. I think their offense is going to come through. Julio Jones, Waddy White, and those boys, and Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. I think they're going to win. I say about 35 to 25. 35 to 25 Falcons. Next game, we got the Seahawks at the Panthers. Seahawks got a lot of injuries, man. A lot of injuries. Bobby Wagner's injured. Cam Chancellor right now, he's injured. Um, their starting quarterback Byron Maxwell, who plays alongside Rich Sherman, is injured. They got a lot of injuries right now, but I think they're gonna still win against the Detroit Lions because the problem with the Lions right now is they really don't have any depth at wide receiver. So if you don't have depth at wide receiver, how are you going to go up against the Legion of Boom? They might not have all their key guys, but they're still fast enough and strong enough to be able to contest average wide receivers. And the thing is, they have no running game. So unless Cam Newton can get it going, then Cam Chancellor is going to go bam bam all day. And I don't see how they're going to stop that. Um, so I don't think Panthers are gonna win that game, even though it's in Carolina. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be close because both teams right now are hurt and they're not at full strength. I think it's gonna be I say along the lines of a 28 to 31 game, Seattle. And let's go to the next game. Going with the Vikings at the Buccaneers. Uh I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers on this one. They just paid their defense tackle a lot of money, and right now they're coming off a few bad losses, especially against that loss against the Ravens last week at home. But the reason why I'm going with the Buccaneers right now is because they do have home field advantage, and they do still have a potent offense, even considering that loss. And the Vikings don't have potent offense or defense. Their defense is average, and their offense is suspect. So I'm just looking at that, and I'm saying, well, the Buccaneers are more of a complete team right now, and I think they're going to win this game. And I'm going with the Buccaneers. I'm going to go with a 28 to let's say 19 score, 28 to 19 Buccaneers. Next game we got the Buffalo Bills at the Jets. It's going to be a very interesting game as always. It's a division rival. We all know what's going to happen. We all know what the Jets are capable of. We all know what they're not capable of. We all know what the Jets can and can't do. They can stay in the games with the best teams in the league, but then they somehow lose to the average teams. That's not going to be this one of these days. The Jets right now, they're struggling, yes, but they did just get Percy Harvin, which is a great addition. They're going to use him. I think he's going to have a big game today. Plus, Buffalo Bills, that secondary they're good, but if you get Percy Harvin to stretch that secondary out and the running game is good, that's going to change the game. Also, they don't have Fred Jackson right now, the Buffalo Bills. So that run game is terrible. That run offense is trash right now. And if you can't stay off the field, then your defense is going to get tired. And against Rex Ryan and the Jets, that's not an option because they do have some explosive receivers and some explosive players with Eric Decker and Percy Harvin. So I think the Jets going to win this one. I think it's going to be pretty easy, really. I think it's going to be a 31 to 14 game. I don't think it's going to be too much of a struggle. All right, next game. Let's go with the Bears. The Bears at the Patriots. I don't even know why we're talking about this one because we all know the Bears are so suspect. The Bears haven't even won a home game yet, and these are the same guys that are talking about we're contenders. You're contenders. You're not contenders. The New England Jets or the New England Patriots. They're contenders. I'm looking at them to go towards the AFC Championship. So I'm definitely picking them to win this game at home. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. They got Darrell Revis on the other side of the ball. They've got a couple key weapons on defense as well, alongside with him. I don't think it's even gonna be close. I think this game is gonna be pretty much of a breeze. I think the Bears are gonna threaten a little bit with their offense, but ultimately it's gonna do nothing. It's gonna be a 35-21 game, the Patriots, and I think they're gonna go home easy. Next game, Dolphins, Jaguars, it's a wash. And Dolphins win this game, even though it's in Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville is not relevant. Miami Dolphins win this game. I'd say 31 to 19. Next game, Ravens, Bengals. This is a big game because it's a division game. It's going to decide a lot about who's the top in the AFC, who's top dog. Because the Ravens have been balling lately. They've been balling. And I'm gonna stick with the Ravens. I'm gonna stick because I believe in John Harbaugh, and right now Joe Flacco's playing at a high level. Plus they got Steve Smith and Torrey Smith. That's two deadly combinations right there. And the Bengals show that they're weak at home. They have vulnerabilities because they tied the Panthers. The Panthers who have multiple injuries and have no depth of wide receiver and no running back. So what do you think the Ravens are gonna do? Who have depth of wide receiver and who have a running back? Yeah, it's not gonna be good. But I think the Ravens are going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be easy because it's at Cincinnati, but I think they're going to win. I'm going to go with a score of 28 to 20 Ravens. Next game, we got the Texans at the Titans. Going with the Texans in this one. The Texans have lost a couple key games, but you look at the games they lost, they've all been close. Their defense is playing great right now. Their offense is improving. They have a couple key weapons, obviously, with Aaron Foster being one of the highest rushers in the league and one of the best running backs, period. I think they're going to win this game. I think it's going to be a score of I think it's going to be a score of 38 to 14 Texans. Next game, we got the Rams and the Chiefs. Now, the Rams are pretty good. The Rams, they did just beat Seattle last weekend. I understand that. But the Chiefs also just beat the San Diego Chargers in San Diego. And the reason why is because of their running game. And the Rams are talking about improving their running defense. Well, it's going to be hard to do that when you have two of your key defensive ends down and to be able to stop the run. Chris Long and Robert Quinn are right now they're struggling through injuries. So I don't know about that. I think that they're going to be very relatively weak against the run. I think Jamal Charles is going to have a field day against them, and I do think that it's going to be closer than people think because it's not the St. Louis Rams have a good defense, but I still think it's going to be a game of around 34 to I want to say 34 to 20, 34 to 20 Kansas City Chiefs. Next game, we got the Eagles at the Cardinals. This is a big game. Big game in the NFC. Two teams in the top right now in the NFC, and I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. Why? Because the Eagles have one of the best offenses in the NFL right now. They can explode at any time. LaShawn McCoy, Chip Kelly, they're all balling right now. And I know LaShawn McCoy got up to a slow start, but they've made up for it with Nick Foles and some of their offensive weapons. So I don't. And Arizona right now, their secondary has let up. For all that talk about how good their secondary is, how good Patrick Peterson is, they've let up some of the most passing yards in the NFL to date. Yeah, their run defense is great, but what about that pass defense, Nick Foles? That pass defense is suspect, and I'm going with the Eagles because they have multiple ways to hurt you, and they know that pass defense is suspect. And I'm going with the Eagles. I'm gonna go, even though it's in Arizona, I'm gonna go with the Eagles of a score of 38 to 31. Eagles. It's gonna be a high-scoring game. It's gonna be fun, exciting, but Eagles gonna win it. Next game. The Indianapolis Colts at the Steelers. I love the Steelers, but I'd be a fool not to pick the Indianapolis Colts. They've been playing right now well. Right now, they're balled. They just destroyed the Bengals. Didn't even let them score a single point. And I'm not expecting the Steelers to do much better against them. I'm expecting the Colts to go in and win this one relatively easily. I mean, I know it's a home game for the Steelers, but the Colts right now look amazing, with Andrew Luck just looking like the best quarterback in the league right now. I'm going with the Colts 31 to 21. And let's go to the next game. Now we got Raiders at Browns. Come on, let's go with the Browns for this one. I mean, the Browns, yes, they did lose to the Jaguars, but at home, you would expect them to beat the non-existent Raiders, the Raiders who I don't even know how many games they won in the last few years. They're not good. The Browns right now, they actually have a very good run game. They actually have a decent defense, middle of the pack, but still decent. And I think they're going to be able to win that game. I think they're going to be able to win about score of 33 to 24. 33 to 24 Cleveland. And now we get to the big game. We get to Green Bay at New Orleans. Another big game in the NFC. Green Bay wins this one. They go 6-2. They look like they're getting into the playoffs. New Orleans loses this one. Playoff season is done. Done. New Orleans is going to win this game. Why? Because A, they're desperate, and B, they're at home. They don't lose at home. They have a better record at home than the Seattle Seahawks. A lot of people didn't know that. The Seattle Seahawks talk that talk, and they might have the best home fans in the league, whatever. But in New Orleans, you do not win in New Orleans. You just don't. You don't win in New Orleans, and that's not going to change today. I don't care how good Aaron Rodgers, the Packers are, because right now you're playing a desperate Drew Brees and their coach right now, and Jimmy Graham, and those boys are going to ball out. Now, I think the score of this game is going to be close, though. I think it's going to be 35-31. It's going to be a nail-biter, come down to the end, but the Saints are going to pull it out like they versus what they did last weekend, and they're going to go home with an easy win. Not easy, but they're going to go home with a win. Yeah, Saints over Packers. What's up? And then we got the Redskins Cowboys. It's not even a contest. Another game that I don't even want to talk about because we all know what's going to happen. The Cowboys right now are balling. Tony Romo's balling. They had one of the best offenses in the league, if not the best. And then DeMarco Murray, we all know what he's doing. He just 600-yard plus games. So, no big deal. Um, and okay, so how is the Redskins going to stop him? They're not. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys to go. I want to say 35 to 30, no, I'm not even gonna give them that. 35-17 Cowboys. 35-17. I'm not even gonna give the Redskins an extra field goal or touchdown because I don't think they're that good right now. And they just suck. And until RG3 comes back, they're relatively inept. So I don't really see them doing much. And really, this is gonna be I think this is gonna be a very clear cut Sunday. You don't see a lot of teams that are really standing out right now. A lot of teams in the middle of the pack. And a lot of the teams that are standing out are facing each other today. So I think we're going to tell a lot from that. But for the most part, it's going to be a middle of the pack weekend. It's going to be a predictable weekend. So subscribe, watch the channel. And any comments you want to leave, go ahead. And yeah, let's get these games started. Let's get Sunday started. Get it off to a bang. About to watch this Falcons Lions game. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens with that. Come back to the channel, check out the updates. Yep, and subscribe.